All right. Hey, Al, I see you joined us. Thank you very much for joining this morning. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Robbins. I want to welcome you to our Saturday morning training. We do these once a month, and we just give you an opportunity to come and check in and really get focused on your business. And we want to keep these short. These are about an hour and a half long, and so we want to today we're going to really be talking about closing out 2025 strong, closing out 2024 strong and getting your 2025 off to a fantastic start. We're going to be talking about some new tools, how to use them. We're going to be talking about some other really exciting things. But again, I want to thank you for being here today. This is a great time of year, just in general. People love the December time of year, Christmas and what it means, and spending time with family and what it means for our faith. But it's also a great time to be in Manatech. This is a fantastic time to be talking to people, because what are people thinking about right now? People are thinking about, their health. They're thinking about, what's happened in their life this year, 2024, maybe some areas that didn't go as well as they wanted to, and starting to think about 2025 and how they can maybe recalibrate and thinking about, again, maybe an extra stream of income might be something great for them. Maybe debt's burdening them. That's a hard word to say. Giving them a lot of stress. Debt is giving the people a lot of stress. And again, thinking about, hey, maybe it's time to make a change. And so sometimes people think, hey, the holiday is not a great time to talk about Manatech. But again, with the right focus and intention, this can be a great time to have those conversations. And again, perhaps for some follow-up as the new year starts, to really get somebody off to a great start. But don't think that this isn't a good time to talk about the business, because it really can be, because people are thinking about those sorts of things. So what we're going to do today, we're going to kick it off with one of our leaders from Europe. His name is Ian Harvey, and Ian has actually been with Manatech for over 21 years. Ian started off in Manatech in the beginning as a field leader, and he rose to the position of gold presidential. I believe still to this day, the only gold presidential in Europe. And so Ian has, again, built a huge business. And then we at Manatech convinced him to come over to the corporate side. And he led Europe for a long time on the corporate side. And then just recently, about a year or two ago, made the transition back to the field. And Ian has rebuilt his business to a presidential director level. And Ian's just a fantastic person. He's got a great spirit. He's super positive, but he's also a really strong builder, and is really working hard to build his team in Europe. He's got a team going in North America, and I think in other parts of the world too. And so he just wanted to bring a little bit of his cheer this morning, a little bit of his inspiration, and talk about what's going on in Manatech. And Ian, I want to turn it over to you. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So Ian Harvey, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, and I'm super excited. Just before I actually share with you, I just want to say thank you to the Robbins family, because Ray, Kevin, and Demra, they are truly tremendous people. And they took time last week to come into Europe via Zoom and were absolutely incredible. And Kevin said, "Don't say too much about me." Well, all I'm saying is incredible. That's fair enough, isn't it? So, what's really exciting me though is 2005. I believe is going to be one of the strongest years that Manatech have had for a long, long time. I really believe the energy is coming back. I think the new leadership team, with Al being a consultant and advising, and Landon, I actually think this is the time. And a lot of people say, "Oh well, I did it 21 years." And I still get really, really excited about this business. People tell me daily, though, that in Europe, you can't build a business. People say, oh, it doesn't work in Europe. Well, let me tell you my story, because I actually got involved in my first network marketing company when I was 18. So that's now about 40 odd years ago. And the reason I did that is because I left school with no qualifications. I wasn't really that interested. I just wanted to make money, to be honest. And that's because I come from a family that struggled. Anyway, I do remember my mum saying, you got to get yourself a proper job. And so I thought, okay, she said, yeah, I will do. So I actually went to a presentation and I come home and I can tell when my mum was home, at home. I was still living at home because the light was still on. So I knew I was up for an interrogation. And she asked me now, hey, how did the meeting go? And I said, yeah, great. I said, but I've decided to follow your instructions and I'm going to get a proper job. And she said, thank God for that. Have you any idea where? I said, yeah, the company I went and seen tonight. Well, I have to say it didn't get a full endorsement. That's the light version of it, But however, I decided to do this, and everyone was telling me 17 and 18, you're far too young, people won't listen to you. But one guy who kept sharing with me was Zig Ziglar. He kept saying, you can have anything you want, anything you want. So I just kept going, 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 going. And within an 18-month period in Europe, I actually purchased my own house with very little mortgage, and this industry has served me so well. And the people in Manatech really, really excite me. So there's lots of studies out now, though. I don't know if you've been recently, and maybe Al will cover this, or maybe he'll cover it tomorrow. But there are lots of studies out there now to saying that Europe has become the hub. This is where all the growth is at this moment. It's actually moved and it's all within Europe. So you can all have a part of it. We want to share it, because there's an infrastructure in place. We've got a guy called Darren Hoffman. I better make sure I get his name right. He's the general manager. But he is a truly supportive guy, and we get lots of support from him. Now, we do have EPAC, which is European Presidential Associate Council. That's the presidentials in Europe all getting together and helping the company move forward. But what they also do is once a week, the presidentials do a business opportunity presentation, which is actually generic. So anyone can plug their team into it. We always say go back to the person who invited you. Also, every second week, we actually have a training by various people. So there is lots of support being pushed into Europe, and quite rightly so, because if Europe is where all the growth is coming from now, if this is the big market, then I am more than excited. I am triply excited. But I have to say one thing first, because we can go and say it's all exciting, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be fantastic. But how is it going to be different from last year? What are you going to do that's different from last year? Because if we just do the same, I guarantee you the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So I believe what we all need to do now and is have a mental detox. Get rid of all the rubbish. People tell us, they ring us up and say, hey, I don't feel well, I'm having this healing crisis. We're not allowed to say another word in Europe, but it's like, oh, well, don't worry, it's working for you. And yet what we sometimes need to do is we need to go and get this checked out. We need to actually think about what information is going in, who's programming us, who are we serving? And we don't. And there was a study with they put some fleas in a jar and put the lid on. And the fleas started to try and jump out. Well, eventually they conditioned themselves, say, this hurts my head, so I'm actually not going to jump so high. They took the lid off the jar in a true experiment, and the fleas never jumped out because they'd actually programmed themselves for this much success. And that's generally what can happen in this business. We can go out there and we get a few curveballs, and then we start to condition ourselves. I'm not going to go that high. Well, I would say to you, go higher, go absolutely higher, hurt your head, feel the pain, because while you're jumping, you are going to get success. You can't change history, but you can create it. So it's no good worrying about what happened last year. It's no good worrying about what happened minutes ago. You can't change that. It's fixed. It's gone. But what we can do is we can create history. But you do need to have a garage sale. Now, most of you will know what that is. For the people in Europe, they won't have a clue. But what that really means is that when you actually go to these places and sell out the boot of your car and those sort of things, everyone needs to have a garage sale, but in your mind. It's time to throw away the junk. It's time to give it away if you have to, but get rid of it. Just get rid of the junk. Just have A 100% garage sale where I say, is this serving me? Yes or no? Is this impacting me? Yes or no? And if it's not impacting you positively, chuck it away. Don't need it. You need to be a lean machine in this business. But my favorite one is like, I don't know if anyone's ever said this to you, but people say to me, think outside of the box. Has that ever happened to anyone? Think outside the box? Yeah, it has happened to me. I have some news for you. There is no box. I had a full body scan, top to bottom, no box. There's no box out there. I'm sorry to disappoint you. The only box you're going to get is what comes from Amazon. You know, leave on your step and someone even take that away as well without even asking if you don't get on with it, you know. But seriously, what they really have is you have mental barriers to your success. You create this box thing. You know, it says look outside. What they're really saying is look to how you're putting across. What mental barriers have you got? What is stopping you? Because that's the real box. It's not the box. It's the actions that we are taking, which are the box. So how do you get rid of it? Well, you get rid of the drama. And unfortunately, 90+% of our people live in drama. And I can give you a great example. We have 4 daughters, ranged from 30 to 40. One was 40 yesterday, actually. So we had to rush back today so I can do the call. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So one of them was 40 yesterday. And I said, do an exercise. And so our first exercise was one of them put a message on Facebook saying, you will not believe what happened to me today. Full stop. She had over 300 responses. Are you okay, babe? Do you want me to come round? Is there anyone you need to speak to me? She had 300. Not one of the 300 was positive. They was all on the negative. 2 weeks later, we ran the same experience. Seriously. So we actually said, let's do this again. But this time we put, you would not believe what happened to me. Different face, different daughter, different Facebook. You would not believe what happened to me today. I got a new job. 3 replies. Just 3 replies. So the first one was like, oh, babe, you okay? Do you want me to come round? Has someone been nasty to you? The next one, and all we put on the end is, I got a new job, 3 replies. And that proves to me is that people live in the negative. Because if there's drama around it, whoa, come here, love, aren't you nice? We'll sort it out. Anything positive. And so what we have to do, we have to take that forward. And when we're talking to people, if we know what the ratio is, then we actually need to up our talk rate. And one of the very first things I ever heard in this industry, I went to listen to a guy when I was only 18 and he was getting a 6-figure check. I wanted that 6-figure check. I was broke, living in sheltered accommodation before I actually had my breakthrough. So I wanted a 6-figure check. I waited all day. I had to pay £50, which was a lot of money then. I waited all day for this speaker. I wasn't part of their organisation. He come on the stage. He was given 1 hour to speak. His build-up was about 15 minutes. And they said, over to you. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, it's quite simple. I'm going to show you how to build a business. In fact, I'm going to tell you how to build a business. Every day, I speak to 100 people. Today, I've only spoken to 64 people. So if you'll please excuse me, I have to go. That was it. It was done in less than 60 seconds. That guy is a millionaire. He might even be a billionaire because he's never changed. He's still in the industry. He's still on my Facebook, you know. And it was like, this is all we got to do. We got to keep talking to people, talking to people, talking to people. But what we have to do is we have to actually move away from what I call the quicksand crowd. Quicksand, if you stand in it, it sinks. Eventually, it will suck you in and pull you underneath and suffocate you. But quicksand crowd of people. These are the people who are going to tell you it will never work. You won't make any money out of that. It's quite interesting. I love these people. I like to play with them because they say, oh, my friend told me. So I said, oh, so you've never actually done it yourself then? No, I haven't. You know, my friend only did it for a couple of days and made no money. Right. Do you think we found a hub? You know, and we have. Keep away from the quicksand crowd. Just absolutely keep away from them. These are the people who are going to tell you it'll never work. Ask them this thing. Will you pay my check at the end of the month if I follow your advice? I guarantee you what the response will be. No, absolute no. So keep away from them. Don't listen to them. And how do you do that? Well, you have to program your mind. Go out there. There is millions and millions of dollars material out there. There really is, free of charge now. There's no excuses. But program your mind with all this positive stuff, because the only way you're going to get rid of your mental barriers is absolutely flood them with positivity. Just flood them. Just absolutely keep programming. Every day decide when to watch a video. Every day I'm going to speak to someone like, I don't know, Mary Jo Ilika. Anyone who's a leader out there, I want to have a conversation. Well, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And you will become extremely successful. I just want to tell you a couple more stories. I will finish on time because Lydia will be watching me. And I promise I will keep to my time slot. Here's a couple of things. I want to talk about popcorn, because I always talk about things, stories. Well, popcorn, if you put it into your microwave oven and you hit the button for 3 minutes, you get popcorn. However, an experiment is after 1 minute, open the door, shut it again, another minute, open the door, shut it again. You won't get any popcorn, because for popcorn, you've got to leave it in there consistently for 3 minutes. What on earth has that got to do with our business? What it's got to do with our business is we start talking to people. Someone says yes. We take our eye off the ball. We focus on this one person, and this person doesn't stack up. So now what we've got to do, we've got to go and start the whole process again. What my best advice is keep it going, keep it going. Even though someone says, yeah, and they're going to actually create you a multi-billion deal. Has anyone told you before? I am the one you're looking for. You try and ring them back up and they don't take your call. You send them an email, it comes back. You got to keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And here's what you have to do, in my opinion, is you have to be on the inside as good as you are on the outside. We can all talk the story. We can all say, yeah, it's fantastic, I'm going to do this and all that sort of stuff, Most of us don't. I want you to just imagine to walk down a garden in California, pluck an orange off the tree, take it into the breakfast room and squeeze it. No one's touched it. What do you think you're going to get out of this orange? Most people would say orange juice. And I'm saying, no, it's apple juice. You'll say, that's absolutely ridiculous. You pluck something off a tree, you squeeze it, and it's going to come apple juice? Well, of course, you're right. It's me who's crazy. You do get orange juice. But most people, if you were to get squeezed today, would Mannatech be easing out of you? If you got the squeeze, we can all say, yes, yes, yes. Squeeze yourself and just see what comes out. And for a lot of people, it's doubt, it's fear. That's great. As long as you acknowledge it, speak to the person who brought you into the business and they will help you. I just want to share the last thing with you. The only person who can stop you is the person you see in the mirror. That is the only person can stop you from becoming success. The only thing. And the final thing to remember, and I know some of you heard this before, there was a drought going on in Africa. The pastor got all his township people together and said, listen, we're going to die, we're going to perish, there's no rain. So the only way we've got a chance is if we can actually make it rain. So who believes if we can pray, it will rain? They'll go, yeah, we can do this, we can do this. He said, 10 o'clock, Sunday morning, we're at the church. We're all going to pray for rain. Are we up for it? Yes, yes, yes. He got there at 10 o'clock. This was the pastor. People are hanging out through the windows and everything. He went on fought his way to the front and said, who really believes? Who really believes we can make it rain? They're like, yes, yes, yes. He said, no, who really believes? And they're like, yes. I said, okay, then my final question. Why has nobody brought an umbrella with them? Think about it. And on that note, I'm back over to Lydia.
No, I think you're turning it back over to me, Ian. Hey.
Sorry.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ian. I loved some of the wisdom that you shared. You can't change history, but you can create the future. I think that is so important. So often we stay in the history, what we did or what we should have said or what we could have done. and we stay there in that place instead of just thinking about how can we create the future and change the future. And you get shared some great wisdom with you about mental barriers. I loved what you said about flood it with positivity. If you have some mental barriers, if you have some self-doubt, flood that with positivity. Being on trainings like this is one way to do it. Reading books is another way to do it. Listening to audios, listening to podcasts of people talking about positivity and about being able to overcome, being able to be successful. Love that, love that, love that, Ian. Hey, a little bit of housekeeping. If you're not speaking this morning, if you're not one of the speakers, would you please mute your line? And if you're not sure, is my Zoom muted? Just look at the lower left-hand corner of your Zoom, and there's an audio button. And if there's a red line through it, you're good. If there's not a red line through it, click it, and you are in fact muted. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to transition. Our next speaker, Mary Jo Hilliker. All of you know and love Mary Jo. She has been with us for a long, long time. Mary Jo first came to Manatech. What you might not know is she first came to Manatech from a product perspective. Mary Jo is an attorney and very successful attorney, was not looking for a business, but what she was looking for, interested in, is she had a health challenge for her father. And she was just, really interested in finding something for him that could provide some relief. And she found that with Manatech, and it really opened her eyes to what natural nutrition can do for the human body. And Mary Jo just became super passionate about the products. Ultimately, she became super passionate about the business and about helping entrepreneurs be successful in their life. She gave up her life as an attorney and has been a full-time career helping people. And I think that's the right way to say it. It's not so much been building her business as it's been helping people. And by helping people, that has certainly helped her in the business side as well. But her passion is you, being on these trainings, helping you, doing calls. She works with people that are in her group, that are not in her group, that are in other countries. It doesn't matter. She just loves helping people be successful, whether from a product standpoint, business standpoint, or just in life. And I just love that about Mary Jo. So Mary Jo is going to share some of her wisdom this morning, really focused on things that are important to her and to our business, and what can really help us be successful as we close out this year and start next year. So without any further ado, I want to introduce my friend, Silver Presidential, Mary Jo Hilliker.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my talk is be, do, and create different in 2025. How many of you agree with that comment? Be, do, and create different in 2025. Your environment has a great influence over you. Greatest aspect of that environment is the people you associate with. So let's play this short video. Lydia?
Your circle of friends is your secret weapon to success. Think about it. Who do you hang out with most? Are they dreamers or doubters? Go-getters or excuse makers? Here's the truth. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Scary, right? But here's the good news. You have the power to choose. Surround yourself with negative people, and you'll find reasons why you can't. Surround yourself with ambitious people, and you'll find ways you can. I've seen it happen. When I upgraded my circle, my whole life leveled up. My mindset shifted. My goals got bigger. My excuses got smaller. So here's your challenge. Seek out the winners, the hustlers, the optimists. Find people who make you think bigger and push you to be better. Remember, iron sharpens iron. The right friends won't just support your dreams, they'll fuel them.
I don't know about you guys, but every time I watch that video, I get so psyched up. It just wires me. So maybe you want to get a link to that video and watch it at least first thing in the morning every day, right? Get you fueled up. So your environment has a tremendous influence over you, and we want to take a great look at that for 2025. It will change your life and the results that you produce, but not just 2025, every day in every way. So I love that definition of insanity. People talk about doing the same thing over and over again. I think we heard Ian talk about it too, and expecting different results. Not going to work for you. You can't expect different results until you choose to do something different. So if you're like me and always pitching in to help others, it's our natural inclination. And of course, M5M, we must also protect our time, our only limited asset. So schedule your charity time. It feeds our soul, but giving away our life, each and every happenstance, robs us of the greatness Manatech can bring, not just to you. That's not why I do it. I do it because it brings greatness to hundreds of thousands of others by getting them on the products and by enhancing their financial status so they too can double, triple, quadruple their charity work. When we just talk about ours, what are we doing to enhance other people's capacity to do more and more charity to help us change this world together? And of course, getting people involved with Manatech also allows us to increase the impact we have through M5M, all of our favorite missions that we have that we'd love to support on an annual basis. So this is your time. This is your time to be and do different. You ask in what respect? Well, here's a list of the 7 fundamental skills for network marketing. Write these down and to then leave some space on how you're going to be and do different with respect to these fundamental skills for 2025. Number 1, the obvious one, how to find prospects. How to find prospects. Number 2, the gateway skill. What is that? How to invite. Number 3, how to present. Number 4, how to follow up, including answer objections. Number 5, how to close and enroll those new associates and sign up those new customers. Number 6, how do I help my new partners in this business get started in the right way? And number 7, how to promote corporate events as well as my own events I may choose to do. Those are your 7 steps, 7 skill sets. What are you going to work on? Work on each and every one of those 7 this year, but you got to have a game plan around them. You can't just say, oh, they'll happen if they happen. So draft your 2025 game plan today. Notice how Mary, I don't procrastinate. If you want to be a high performer, you cannot afford the word even in your vocabulary that's called procrastinate. Am I right? We've got to get things done. So draft your 2025 game plan today on how you're going to be and do different for 2025. We've got a few weeks left here in the month of December, so let's utilize them to our highest and best capacity. Have an accountability partner to hold your feet to the fire and perhaps even to help you finish this task for your game plan for 2025. And speaking of that accountability, if they fail to commit to the actions needed, you need to be accountability partner to them as well. You know, all of us can hope and wish that we have greater success in Manatech. We can hope Manatech brings us more success. As I hear so many people from time to time, they complain about what Manatech's not doing or blah, blah, blah. You know, the complaint realm will never help you cross the finish line. Instead of dealing in complaint land, deal in solution land. You're capable of solutions. Don't always be looking outside the realm, but come up with solutions yourself. Keep that positive attitude moving forward in a direction that you say, yes, we can, but not just we. I like the we because we're doing this all together, but yes, I can. That's the belief in self. And each and every one of you have the capacity to build whatever business you choose. So 2025, make it your year. You are the engine to your business. So choose now, prepare now, And let's all together make 2025 our breakout year. And I'll leave this as a final comment to you all. Quit playing small. It not only doesn't serve you, but it doesn't serve people's lives everywhere who are depending on you to play life large. So thanks, Kevin. I'm done. Write it down, guys. Let's go out and make 2025 our best year yet. And I'm more than happy to be part of that wind underneath your wings.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Great work. You know, Mary Jo is one of the absolute hardest working people that we have in Manatech. And I know I say that and she's like, oh, I don't know about because it comes from a point of she just loves it. You know, she just loves pouring into people. She loves spending time with people. You know, she doesn't just talk the talk. I guarantee you she is walking the walk. And, you know, these 7 things, how to find prospects, invite, present, follow up, close, find new partners in business and help promote corporate events. Mary Jo, right now, if we said, okay, take one topic and teach it for an hour, she could just go. No preparation because she just lives it. She could take, you know, a topic and teach it for a weekend. I mean, because she really lives this. And so thank you, Mary Jo. And, you know, thank you for all that you do. And I really appreciate that you just pouring yourself into all of us like you do. So, all right, let's transition now. We got our next speaker. I'm going to introduce Shirley Thompson. Shirley has been with Manatech since 1997. A friend of hers invited her to a meeting and she loved the science and she fell in love with the products. And then she fell in love with the business, being an entrepreneur. And, you know, it just reminds me, you know, as I'm introducing Shirley, that's going to be talking a little bit about Eric Worre and some things that she learned from the session last weekend. People have been involved with Manatech. People that are involved with Manatech, they stay with us because they know that we're real, we're authentic, we have real products, we have real science, we have real business opportunity, and the people that we have are real. You know, the studies that we've done off of our buyers, people that buy from Manatech, our customers have been buying from us as an average over 9 years. And that just is a testament to who we are as a company, to our products, our science, our business, the people, and you are a huge part of that. All of you that are watching, whether you've been with us since 1997 like Shirley, or you know, you may be tuning in today and have just found us in the last few weeks, and that is fantastic. We're looking forward to, you know, the next 30 years, if you will. But I love the fact that we have people that have been with Manatech for as long as Shirley. So I'm excited, Shirley, to have you come and share some of your pearls of wisdom. And take it away, Shirley.
Thank you, Kevin and Mary Jo. It's an honor for me to be here to speak, and you know, just listening to Ian and Mary Jo, it's quite interesting when we come together as a group like this. We're kind of all on the same page. I can't believe I'm looking at my notes and I scratch that because Mary Jo mentioned that or Ian said this, but you know, I think it's great to be all on the same page and working together and growing this company. But more importantly, I see it as a way to, it's really about growing ourselves because we are a growth industry. And I think if we want to grow, we got to start growing inside and then be that vessel out there so others can tune in and experience, I believe, what we are experiencing, what I am experiencing. And one of the things that I have found recently is Eric Worre's. When I took his GoPro the other weekend, he introduced a new program and it's called his GoPro Insider. And for me, I've been taking his little clips, his daily clips training for the last 6 days, and I found it to be a game changer. And when I listened to the 2 speakers before me, this falls right into, we can now make a decision. How are we going to grow ourselves? What tools are we going to use? And this falls in with where Eric is and with his training, because if you know Eric Worre at all, he has one big heart, but he's experienced network marketing. He knows what it's about, and he's diving in and teaching us and training us the best way he knows. And we have to grab onto it. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm grabbing onto his training. So his daily training, his strategies and motivation, it's only 10 minutes a day. We simply watch, we apply, and we repeat to grow our business. He always ends with a little homework, and it's not a lot, but it's important that we take those steps and follow through and to the tools or the information that he's given to us. One takeaway from day one was network marketing isn't perfect. It's just better. We've heard Eric say that quite often. Network marketing isn't perfect. It is better. What blew my mind, though, his stats. The profession does $200 million in annual sales with approximately $80 billion a year paid out to distributors. That's about get this, $200 million a day paid out to distributors around the world. Excuse me, I want to be one of those 200 million. What an incredible industry I think that we are a part of. And a key takeaway that day was we don't need approval from anyone to do this business. Commit to become a professional inside of network marketing. He also spoke on day two, how to guarantee success in network marketing. Get better every day. What were Ian and Mary Jo saying? Get better every day. Don't quit. Plan, do, review. But guess what? There's another day coming, Lord willing. Plan, do, and review. Day three focused on your biggest moment in network marketing. He had a lot of insights and his story, his journey with network marketing. But one quote that he mentioned, and I'm claiming that as my own as well, the biggest moment in my career is the moment when I decide to become a professional in this business. I have to make the decision. You also have to make the decision. Day four was creating your success superstructure. And if we want to grow and be successful, he gave us 2 tips, and it focused on his, what he calls the awareness challenge. Our associations. Who are we spending the most time with? One category is who is distracting me from my purpose in building my business. If they're distracting me from my business, he suggests then we need to spend less time with them. Focus on what is important. And we've heard it before, create boundaries. And then we have people who just love to discourage us. Oh, you can't do this. Why are you involved in this? Yada, yada, it's a pyramid, da, 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 da. He says, spend no time with them. Because if I do, then I'm sacrificing my time and my purpose. They can steal that. They're out there, they're robbers. That's their purpose, is to steal. So, and another type of people, and I'm so blessed, I think, to be a part of this community of Mannatech and everyone that has come across my path that has made me where I am today. And as I say that, I was sharing a little bit with my husband yesterday. And he said, Shirley, you, in the last 6 months, you have changed. And I thought, oh, really? I hope for the good. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, you become more confident. I thought, okay, I'm in the right place, and this is the right time, folks. So because we're a part of this community, they push me toward my purpose and remind me of my greatness, who I am. He says, spend more time with these people because they have more belief than I have, more skills, they make more money, they're encouraging, they're pushing, they're challenging, they're believing in me. And he suggests build an accountability structure around ourselves and build our structure every day. We need each other in this, where we are today, and to have that growth, be part of that growth. Our environment speaks volume too. Are you around negative influence? We see it every way. It comes into our head, our eyes, our mind. So many distractions, discouragements, and negativity just want to rob us of so much. But guess what? There is also the positive side where we have the opportunity to feed our minds. And what I like about insiders, GoPro insiders, is that we're a part of that process. He encourages us to read, to listen to podcasts, trainings our job is to create a bubble around ourselves. Again, associations and environment. And we've heard it said before, I think Ian said it, or Mary Jo, we become the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. I'm surrounded. I choose to be surrounded by dream chasers. Am I surrounding myself with dream chasers or dream crushers? I vote for the dream chasers, those who are going for it. And he talked about confidence, and Mary Jo listed the 7 skills. And Eric is going to teach further on that as he goes, because Mary Jo mentioned about the gateway skill. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Today's little session was how to get duplication. And I think that's what we want in our industry. That's what I want in our business, is when we bring people in, so they duplicate what we're doing. And I really like what he said. We can't do it ourselves, because he said he knew the business, he knew the presentations, he knew everything, he knew how to contact, how to speak to people, but the duplication was missing. So he said, introduce your prospect to a third party, and that prospect will respect them more than you. I thought, oh, really? But when he explained it, he was connecting his prospect team member to a third resource party. Do you know what that is? What they are? Video that shares the opportunity, audio training, Zoom calls, the product itself, your upline, and company events. They are the third party. We don't have to do it all. He said, but we're also a theme. We are a theme third party to our team, but we duplicate introducing them to our prospect to a third party. He has assignments after every call, and which is helpful. And what I would suggest too is we need to have an accountability partner, someone that we're going to work with, who's going to continue to build us and grow us as well, but to encourage and to be accountable to each other. And another thing too, because he has these lessons or a little bit of homework that he wants us to do, I wonder how we were going to do that. And I was talking to Lydia the other day, is I encourage you to get a journal. Write down the checklist, the things that you are going to do that day, and record that every day in your journal. And then you can look back, and then I see it as then I can see, okay, where am I growing? Did I make a difference there? Did I follow through? That is how it's going to help me. Again, and that's a way of tracking yourself and calling you to action. So GoPro Insider is offered through NowSite. It's just $9 a month, or the annual fee of $89. Not only would you get the daily video training, but you get also 1 free general admission ticket to 5 of the 2025 live online challenges, as well as 1 online general admission ticket to the 2025 GoPro experience. Lydia, I just noticed she put the link there in the chat. If you haven't already registered, or you want to register. So, and Lydia's also set up, I can't say enough about Lydia. She is one amazing lady. She's just bang on. Okay, well, I'll get that for you. What do you think about this? Yada, yada. So she's also has a GoPro Insider WhatsApp, where we can share our daily takeaways. And another way then is also inspire one another. It's a team. And I love that, because it encourages me when I look at the comments, and I think we need to use it a little bit more. It's okay to step in and say, hey, this is what I got, or I got nothing from that training today. That's where we come alongside and help each other. And that's another way of investing into ourselves. I'm going to finish up with this. I don't know about you, but guess what, folks? I'm all in. So let's leverage this training, grow together, and transform our lives worldwide in 2025. I'm excited about 2025. God bless, and thank you for your time. Take care.
Hey, thank you, Shirley. I just want to thank you for being a part of Manitech as well. We are so thankful for you being with us, and so many people like Shirley that just such high quality individuals. And again, thank you for sharing your wisdom this morning, Shirley. I want to follow up on Ian Harvey this morning. I meant to say something when he was speaking, or when he was finished. He talked about being able to plug in to some of the Europe meetings. And so if you have contacts of people in Europe, maybe you have a leader over there already, or just somebody you want to talk to about Manatech. Ian, if you don't mind, if they have a question about, when are the events or how do they find out about more information or whatever, could you just put a little information in the chat for them to follow up, or an email or something like that? I'd appreciate it, because I know that they're going to have questions around that. Okay, so Shirley mentioned our next speaker, and that is Lydia. And I can't say enough about Lydia either. Lydia has worked with Mary Jo for many, many years. Some would say Lydia is the secret to Mary Jo's success. I wouldn't necessarily say that, Mary Jo, but some would say Lydia has been the secret to Mary Jo's success. She is absolutely one of the most incredible individuals, because she's got a real passion for technology, and that's what she's going to be talking about this morning. But she also has a real passion just for helping people and for doing whatever it takes for someone to be successful. And you know what? She's helped me and so many other leaders look good on things like these trainings. She organizes and does the agenda and sends all the information out and makes sure that we have the bios. And it's not her job, but that is just who Lydia is, and that's what she wants to do. And whether it's these trainings or the Tuesday night meetings that we have, or updates on Manatech North America, or any of the other Facebook pages, Lydia is a huge part of that. And so, Lydia, I just want you to hear from me. Thank you very, very much for all that you do. And I am looking forward to you this morning sharing some information on some new tools that we have, and how we can use those to be very effective in our business. So, Lydia, take it away.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And Shirley, you're amazing. Thank you very much. First of all, if you have a camera, turn it on. Because I'm going to tell you, speakers don't like speaking to a name. And I'm going to try to make this more interactive. So I want to talk a little bit about Genius AI, because I don't think we kind of realize what Manatech has provided at a much better price. Because if you would go out and buy it outside of Manatech, it's $99 a month. And we're paying $29 a month. That's a great deal. But number one, how many of you guys are comfortable posting reels and videos? If you're comfortable, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, couple. Okay, reels and videos. What about reels and videos with yourself in them? Yeah. And so number 2, how many of you guys know of how to post about Manatech products without mentioning the product or a company name? Because if we post about Ambertos, who's not going to Google Ambertos and just go buy it through the company? And you just lost a sale. You see what I'm saying? How many are good at finding pictures of posts with a caption that's engaging and causes people to follow you? And how many of you guys have a content calendar, or maybe even know what a content calendar is? If you know what a content calendar is, put a 1 in the chat. We have a couple of those. So this is what Genius is to us. It's our genius. So I'm going to share my screen a little bit here. And I'm going to go into Genius. So right here, if you notice on my screen right here, is my content calendar. Here's what I'm going to post about today. So do you think I need to worry about writing the post for it? So morning routine for success. I hit generate. And it gives me 6 different options of what I can do a post on. Then I pick one of the 6 options and do a post. Is that easy? So I was just looking at the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. So let's say I want to do this one, use this idea. I could go in here, it's creating a script for me. I can, number one, record myself doing the video, and there's a teleprompter that prompts up, and I just record and go. Curious about the magic behind a successful morning? Start your day early. Da 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 da. That's pretty easy to do. But what I found out when I do this as maybe a Facebook post and I use a generic picture, how do you think the followings come with that? Do you think people stop and look at it? Because our whole goal on social media, number one, is to get people following you. So when you decide to sell, well, we don't really sell, we do curiosity marketing and start building relationships with people. And I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But what I'm finding out, to be honest with you, it's when I started using pictures of me is where I'm getting engagements and following. So let me just show you. And one of the features of Genius is you could upload 10 pictures of yourself and they will start creating images of you for you to post on social media. So let me just show you. So this is in Facebook, you could do the professional dashboard. So over my last 28 days, I've gotten 46 new followers, 1,100 post engagements, and 2,000 post reach. Not bad, but here's the very intriguing thing. So two different posts. One has a picture on me, one does not have a picture of me. Look at the post reach and look at the engagement. So you could actually track what you're getting. And if you look back if I go further down, my post reach were 45, not the greatest, 12. So you see the difference that Genius is making for me. And what I'm finding out, people are then continuing to come back in my pictures. Something I posted 4 days ago, people are still responding to that picture. So, one other thing about Reels videos. If you saw a video of this odd people that you didn't recognize, would you stop and look at it? Now this video, I'm going to show it to you. I'm not done with it because I need to change the audio and the voice in there, but I'm going to share this video that's going to be posted tomorrow.
Ever feel the weight of the world on your shoulders? You're not alone. In our fast-paced lives, stress can sneak in unnoticed. But I found solace in technology's surprising gifts. Stress relief apps are like hidden gems waiting to be discovered. What's your go-to app for stress management? Join our poll and share. Let's dive into what makes them shine. You might find your next favorite tool to bring tranquility into your life. Let's exchange ideas and expand our relaxation toolkit. I'm eager to learn what works best for you.
So, what do you guys think about? Somebody come off mute and talk about that. Do you see how that would provide more engagement? Because they see you and they recognize you. And so all the pictures in that video were created by Genius AI.
Yeah, Lydia, I like that, that's a video, obviously, but you didn't really have to create the video. Like you'd have to talk to talk to it and stuff. It was kind of already done. But yet it's a really high quality video. So yeah, that was great.
It took me 5 minutes to do that.
Yeah. Because you always think about what's the lighting, and I don't like to do the video with my hand, and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool.
And they also gave me the script. So I didn't have to figure out what to say because that's Mary Jo's. She's great with language. That's not me. So this week I was actually on a webinar because I got an email about a training called Content for Cash. I'm going, that's intriguing. So it caught my attention. And it was a network marketer who this summer her company decided to be affiliate and lost her business. So she had to recreate her business. So she went to a different network marketing, and then she had to prove that do her systems that she created before work. And she talked a lot about curiosity marketing. So what that is, it's just to capture a potential customer's attention by creating a sense of intrigue and mystery, prompting them to seek out more. So one thing about Genius that I didn't cover earlier is Genius is pre-built for Manatech. If I select on a product, they actually have all the Manatech products in there. So we have True Edge Energy. I go here and I click on sell my product. It gives me the angles I want to sell it by. Do I want to go off value, fear, story, comparison, benefits? Let's say click on benefits. It comes with 6 different ideas for me to post. So I find one that I want to post on. So I'll just do energize every moment of life. I click on use this angle. Now it writes a script. It will go in there and write the video for me to post on it. And it all gives a call to action for them to comment. But nowhere does it mention Manatech or the company name or the product name. Common edge to discover the secret behind sustained energy and mental clarity. Can anybody here do something that fast? And it's pre-built with all of our products that we have. Including, there's 2 business. One is the regular Manatech business. The second one is it took the video that we show on Tuesday nights and put it into the AI so it could start writing content about that form of the opportunity. So, but you may say, you know what, Lydia, I'm not ready for this level as of right now. You want to learn another tool that's free? How many knows about ChatGPT? If you don't, you need to learn about it. And this is what Sarah shared with us in the training I took. Okay, so you go to ChatGPT. You don't need the paid version. You could do this with the free version. And here's her prompt. I want to create a curiosity post about, you list the company name and the product name you want. And this is the one let's do another one, optimal. Let me copy. So this one's about Amber. I'll show you. So you just list that. I don't want to tell people what it is. I want them to comment for more information by commenting the word, and you pick whatever word you want them to comment. Help me create a post that piques curiosity and gets engagement. That's all I had to do. So if I take this copy and I do a new message, all I do is paste it in there, and I'm going to put this in your I am going to put this in the chat for you guys to have. That's all you do. Then I just hit this little up arrow. Who likes that post? All you do is you copy paste this and put it in Facebook and create an image. You could actually create an image. You could have the AI create an image. You could do an image of yourself looking healthy. I would probably choose an image of yourself. Sometimes when you AI within chat, you don't always get correct spellings. So what do you think about that tool?
Great job. Thank you for sharing both.
Yeah, so you could do both, and you could actually put this prompt, and if you already have Genius AI, put it in Genius AI, and then it will create the same thing for you. It's curiosity marketing. So is this something you guys can do today? Don't wait, try it, see if it works. I learned this on Wednesday. I trained it to our group on Thursday, and Shirley used it, and she got somebody who commented and wanted more information about the product. It's our consistency, guys. You got to do it every day. How often can you make posts like that? I would not do them every day, because people don't want to be, but you could do them periodically, do a couple times a week, but in the midst of it, do posts going, what's your morning healthy energy drink? Ask questions, get engagement. Good? Okay, Kevin, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Lydia. You did a great job making new technologies look simple to all of us. So thank you very much for doing that. You know, you mentioned the thing about AI. This is really neither here nor there, but that it sometimes doesn't spell things correctly. And I've certainly noticed that. It has nothing to do with that tool. It's just about AI, even using ChatGPT or whatever. My thought is, shouldn't that be like the easiest thing that AI does is like spell correct? I mean, we've been doing spell correct for 20 years, but anyway, for whatever reason, AI can summarize a 5,000 page book, but it has a hard time spelling things correctly. But it'll get that figured out, I have a feeling, as we go forward. Anyway, thank you, Lydia. I appreciate you sharing that information. All right. Our last speaker today really doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to give him a little introduction anyway. It's Al Bala. Many of you, most of you know Al. If you're new, you don't, but you're about to know Al. Al's been in this industry for over 40 years. He's been a very top leader in the largest MLM network marketing company in the world. He transitioned to Manatech, has been our CEO for over 10 years. Now he's really transitioned working with us directly in the field here in North America, in Mexico. He's an advisory board member, really just doing it all, but doing it where his passion is, and that is with the field. That is with you and me and working with us. And you would think 40 years in the industry, hey, he's done it, he's seen it, he's done it all, he knows it all. Doesn't there's nothing new that would ever come to Al, but that is not who Al is. Al is the biggest student of this industry that you will ever meet. He is constantly learning and educating himself and learning about what's new and learning about trends and focusing on where this industry is going and what's working, what's not working, what we can do better. And so he just brings just such a wealth of knowledge and passion and information and wisdom. Wisdom, I think, defines who Al is. And so it is a privilege of mine just to call Al a friend of mine. I've known Al since 2007. And boy, it's just, Al, you have been just an inspiration to my life, to so many others. And I just appreciate who you are and what you do. And so I just want you to close out our training today. I know you've got some wisdom for us today, and I can't wait to hear it. So ladies and gentlemen, Al Bala.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kevin. I'm actually right here in the Boston area, sitting in my car outside of an ice rock hockey ring because I'm about to go see my grandson, 6 years old, Noah, play hockey. You know, and for Portuguese grandpa, that's kind of strange. Hockey, ice hockey is not a normal sport, but things change, and I am excited to be doing that. But actually more excited to be doing what we're doing here. Man, there's so much going through my head right now as I've listened to all of you, and I do want to congratulate all of you, and especially Kevin, Ian, Mary Jo, Shirley, Lydia. Thank you for bringing such I would say, a fresh perspective. I know when Lydia, Mary Jo, and I were sitting down and planning, and they brought up the idea of inviting some new faces to these meetings. I was very uh, for that because I think we need to hear some new voices. And I have to say, Ian, you did amazing. Your stories are really, really good, very appropriate for what we're trying to do. I'd like to talk to you more about the flea story because it's actually about the flea circus and how you train fleas to actually do circus acts. But the first thing you have to do is you have to unteach them to jump, which is what a flea normally does. And the moral of that story is most of us have these incredible capacities. I mean, a flea is the animal that can probably jump the highest for its size in nature, and yet you can get it to do tricks on a flea circus because you untrain them to be what God intended them to be. And us human beings, and I love the way Shirley you talked about. We're all about growth, right? We're all about being part of a growth process as human beings. I think that's when we're the happiest, is when we feel we're growing. That's why I love network marketing. That's why I love the communities that we build, is because we're really a personal development program, life time growth program with a compensation plan. We actually pay you to grow, and at the end of the day, your true measure of success is not the ranks you achieve or the money you make. It's the person you become in that process. So listening to you talked about how your husband noticed those differences is exactly what we want to do for millions of people out there who, just like the fleas in the flea circles, have been untrained to be the very best version of themselves, to do the incredible things they can do, so they can actually just participate in activities that benefit a certain group of people. In this case, the people who actually used to do the flea circus thing. So these that could do these amazing things, yet are now bound to do these very minute things. And that's how most human beings are. So I like to think this Saturday that we can start calling ourselves fleet trainers, based on your story, Ian, because we're training people to be better than what life and our surroundings have programmed us to be. I can't speak enough about Mary Jo's optimism about 2025. Her and I and Lydia, again, we've sat around and we've talked a lot about so many of the new things that are coming. And I'm gonna say something that is gonna sound like I'm speaking from both sides of my mouth, because on one side, we are excited about the new things that are coming. And I mean, look at what Lydia just shared with you guys. What we can do with technology today is just unfathomable. I mean, this is the best time ever to be in a people attraction business, because our ability to attract is the highest it's been in the history of the world. And yet, so if our ability to be visible and to attract in a business that's really a people attraction business, those two things are just a perfect storm of opportunity for all of us. And I want us to be, mindful of that, because, when we, my whole thing today was to talk about why you should really put the pedal to the metal in December now in your business, but why we need to look with optimism towards the future of our channel and what we can do of Manatech and your businesses. But yeah, you guys have said so much today, and I'm hoping we all commit today, right now. And if you do, I want you to put one in the chat that we will continue these Super Saturdays throughout all of 2025 with this, and we're committing to grow this over the next 12 months to meet hundreds, if not thousands of people, because this is exactly what we need, right, in our community to continue to grow. Are we all with that? Are we all committed to that, right? You all put a one on the chat, because this is great. This is awesome. And I want to thank Lydia, Mary Jo, who get no salary from Manatech for organizing these things, for working and serving you, which most of you are cross-line to them, but they're so committed to this. It almost sometimes I'm almost, a little embarrassed as I represent the company, the amount of work they do, literally just for the love of it. So again, I don't take it for granted, Mary Jo. I don't take it for granted, Lydia. You guys are just amazing. I enjoy really working with you guys and doing this thing. So our commitment to this process, I think, is important. Our commitment to the model. I think, Lydia, you alluded to it, but we've seen some big companies leave the space. And on the surface, that can seem a little bit heartening. But in a big picture, and I think Kevin, Ray, and I talked about it as we had lunch on Friday, or on Thursday. The space is shrinking. That means those of us who stay committed to the space will get a larger market share. Guys, network marketing, relationship marketing is never going to go away. The model may be tweaked a little bit, but there's a place for our model. And as the space is shrinking, the dollars, the $200 million that Shirley was talking about, that is being transacted in network marketing, those dollars are not going to change. But the number of companies that be part of that 200 million is shrinking. That means we get a bigger piece of the pie. You get a bigger piece of the pie. So if there was ever a time, so I don't want to be positive and enthusiastic and optimistic just because I'm expected to, and because this is what we're supposed to do. I want to do it with some logic, and I hope this is logical to you guys. I remember Sam talking about this 17 years ago, that the space was the number of players were gonna shrink. Well, it's happening as we speak right now. But we have decided to stay committed to the thing, and I give a lot of credit to Landon, the Fredericks family, the Robbins family, for being committed to this channel, to being totally committed to Manatech and what we represent, not just in terms of products, but in terms of opportunity. This is why we also think now is a good time. I just read something this past week. $1.2 trillion of new debt just got added just in the last few years since the pandemic. $1.2 trillion of debt through Visa, MasterCard, anything got issued in the last 2 to 3 years. Now, this is Christmas time. And the average person takes a mental vacation right now, right? We're gonna just go into the end of the year. We're gonna sing carols. We're gonna buy gifts, and we're gonna do some hot cocoa, and we're gonna decorate the Christmas tree, and we're gonna kind of put aside our Manatech business for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. I'm gonna encourage us not to do that. Do all those things, but find time Find that 15-minute, that 30-minute a day to stay present, to stay engaged with your business in December. All this debt that's being created means there's people today who are feeling poorer than they've ever felt. Christmas to make you feel poor or make you feel broke. Because most of us, there's so much we want to do for so many people that we cannot do at Christmas time because we don't have the resources. So this is a great time to be talking to people. You're going to find people, even though they may not actively participate in the next couple of weeks, but they're going to hear your message. And when the bills start hitting January, they're going to remember that conversation. So how do I know this? I'll just tell you a quick story. My up diamond back in my Amway business was a teacher called Gary Ayers. And the way they started their business literally was at this time of the year, Christmas time, they come out of a store in New England called Ann and Hope. And in the windshield of their car was a little note that said, hey, if you want to make an extra $1,000, call me. A note on a windshield. I'm going to say to you, I am not recommending that this is a new strategy we're going to adopt, but I'm just saying to you, somebody stayed present, stayed active when everybody else was shopping. They were out in a very cold New England parking lot putting little flyers on everybody's windshield saying, hey, if you want to make an extra $1,000, call this number. That was it. And guess what happened? Gary and Nancy Ayers, both teachers, coming out of Ann and Hope during Christmas time, feeling the weight of their inability to do the things they want to do for themselves, their kids, their families, they decided at that moment that he took that card, almost threw it away, like another one of those. Just happened to put it in his pocket instead. And a few weeks later, after all the hustle bustle of the holidays, goes into puts the pants on, finds that flyer, that little flyer. And guess what he did? He called. And because Gary and Nancy made that phone call. Now we're talking now almost 50 years later. They have created a legacy, not even just in the business, because that legacy includes Al Ballard, includes Luciano Fidalgo, includes Louis and Leone, includes Johanna, includes all of Mexico, includes Bo Alex in Europe, and includes all the Spanish business, Spain business, includes, I can go on and on, right? Our business in Mexico, our business in Colombia, our business, all those businesses, all those thousands of people, because they made that phone call. And they made that phone call because someone stayed engaged when everybody else was taking a holiday break. Somebody didn't. We will never know who that person is. I think I remember who they were because they're part of the story, but they probably stayed in the business long enough to put enough flyers to find one Gary and Nancy Ayers, which eventually out of that came a John Silver, which out of that came an Al Ballard, which out of that came, hundreds of thousands of people being impacted because of that act. One simple act at the worst possible time of the year. In the absolute worst marketing strategy in the world. But you just never know. You just never know. I love your story of being consistent. Popcorn don't pop unless you stay consistent. Your business won't work unless you stay consistent. And consistency means you do it even when it's Christmas. Consistency means you do it even when it's cold and dreary outside, and you still do what you have to do, because you just never know what will happen. All I would say is this: make sure you don't know what's going to happen, but make sure you bring an umbrella. Just make sure you bring an umbrella. Make sure your intentions are so crystal clear that your belief is so strong that you will move mountains. You will change. You will morph the universe to play in your favor. So thank you for being here. Happy holidays, everybody. I'm going to go watch me some hockey, and look forward to seeing you guys. Tomorrow, we're going to be with Ray Robbins and Landon Frederick on Global Connection. I encourage you to be part of that. Invite some people, and let's just commit to keeping this Super Saturday thing going. It's so important, because we are impacting each other. Iron does sharpen iron. So I'll give it back to you. I know I went probably a little longer than I expected to, but I hope this was helpful to you all. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Al. And you did not go long. You went exactly the amount of time you were supposed to go. And that is whatever time you went was the exact amount of time you were supposed to go. So again, thank you for your incredible words of wisdom, and good luck to your grandson, Noah. Al, I know he's going to do a great job out there on the hockey, out there on the ice. So, hey, I just want to close it out with some comments around, so many people, Shirley Thompson, for one, but even Al and others, just talked about the industry, talked about this incredible industry that we're in. I want to bring it to Manatech, because as you're talking to people over the holidays, you might hear one thing from some people that, back to Ian talked about, this negative mindset that people have. You might hear somebody say, oh, nobody ever makes any money at those things. Oh, I don't know. I've tried that before. I never made any money. I want to share this with you. So Manatech, in our history, we have sold over $5 billion in sales of our products combined worldwide. And again, that's a testament to Ambertos, a testament to our leaders and our customers all over the world. So $5 billion in global sales. It's actually, this year we're going to cross 5.7 billion. But we pay out, Manatech pays out approximately 40% of all of our sales back to you and me for sharing this information with new people. So 5 billion in sales, if you do the math, that we have paid out over $2 billion in commissions, 2 billion with a B in commissions in our history. Now, we have many people that are doing Manatech as a full-time career. I believe we have over 250 people that have earned over $1 million that are part of our $1 million club in Manatech, and that's amazing and awesome. But we have thousands of people that do Manatech part-time, and their share of that $2 billion, maybe for them is $500 a month or $1,000 a month or whatever that is, makes a huge difference to them. So can anybody make any money at this? Absolutely. We've paid out over $2 billion. But you know what? Ian started off today saying that you can't change history. And that's our history. 5 billion in sales, 2 billion in commissions. That's our history. Hopefully you were a part of that, but we can't change history. But you can create the future. So as Manatech moves into the future, and as we continue to grow and sell Ambertos, and so over our next 5 billion in sales, we're going to pay out another $2 billion in commission. How much of a share of that do you want? How much of a share of that is going to be part of your story, your family, your growth? And so that's what I encourage you with today. History's great. It's awesome. Yes, people can make money. Yes, they have made money. So you can tamp down that negativity. But ultimately, it's about the future. And ultimately, it's about our next 5 billion in sales and the next 2 billion in commissions. How much of a part of that are you, how much of a share of that are you going to bite off for yourself and your family? So what a fantastic Saturday morning. Al, look forward to continuing to do these trainings. You're an inspiration. Mary Jo, Lydia, everybody that was here today, thank you very much. We won't just sign off immediately. I'm gonna check in the chat and see if anybody had any questions or comments. But again, thank you everyone. We appreciate you being here today. And again, have a fantastic Christmas, Happy New Year. And the next time we get together doing one of these trainings, I know we'll be in 2025. So we'll see you next year. Goodbye, everybody.